Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mr. EDK and today I'm going to discuss the differences between linear and exponential functions. So what is a linear function? What is an exponential function? And what is neither? A linear function is a function that has a consistent growth or decay that doesn't change over the same time interval. And what we typically see for linear functions is we see a function written in this format, and this is what most students remember. It's mx plus b, which is our slope or constant growth. And I put growth in quotation marks because sometimes the growth can be increasing, sometimes that growth can be decreasing. So growth is not necessarily the most accurate term, but it is where it is. And then B is our starting term. And again, I put that in quotation marks because sometimes we don't actually start at 0 time. Exponential, on the other hand, is something that has a common multiplication. And the way that these functions are written, and we write it like this: f of x equals a times b to the x power. If you notice, the variable is here. This right here is our constant ratio. And this right here is our starting value. And again, I'm putting that in quotation marks. Neither is everything else. If you are a student in Algebra 2, this can include quadratics. Quadratics is neither. Any polynomial outside of the linear falls under this category, polynomials. If you are beyond Algebra 2, you've probably seen logarithms, trig functions, absolute values. And we can keep going with this. There's a ton more other types of functions that it could be. And so that's what we're looking at. Basically, what an exponential function is something where we have a constant multiplication. So as an example, I might have something that looks like this: 3 times 2 to the x power. And we can make a table of values real quick, and we'll start at 0, 1, 2, 3. If x is our input, and f of x is equal to 3 times 2 to the x power, this would be 3 times 2 to the 0 power, which then equals 3 times 1, which then equals 3. If you don't remember that anything raised to the 0 power is equal to 1, then check out my video where I define the 0 power. Then I come down here to 3 times 2 to the first power, so that's going to equal 3 times 2, which is equal to 6. And then I have 3 times 2 squared, which is 3 times 4, which is equal to 12. And then down here on my next one, 3 times 2 to the third power, which is 3 times 8, which is equal to 24. What you'll notice is that the power that is being multiplied here as we go down is we are doubling it. We are multiplying by 2. We are not increasing by the same amount, but we are multiplying by 2. So the output value, this is my output value, is increasing by a multiple of 2 each time. 3 times 2 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24. That is how we determine whether or not something is exponential. In the next video, I'm going to show you guys how to compare and contrast a linear and exponential table and how we can determine whether or not something is linear or exponential. Thank you for coming to my video. I hope this helps. Take care.